Good morning, afternoon, and evening. Probably no ladies here, but yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Corin, and welcome back to another episode of Hallo Heist. Oops, was that too loud? Anyways, today we have a match on the map Ruda Forest, and as one of you guys requested in the past two videos, I'm pretty sure it's two guys requesting me to play. Wait, Coin, you should play Armored SF. And yeah, I actually did have I do have a cool, nice recording, even though now that I look back on it, this is obviously a lot of improvement. I also don't play this deck much. But on Ruda Forest, I'm also playing on the very north flank against some of the I'm pretty sure if you play if you play enough, like reach around the top 100 or something. Actually, don't even need to reach top 100 to know these guys, but apparently our opponents are really good, at least in this match. This match was played before the patch 1.09, so a lot of my units are still like a bit more expensive. For example, the Sentinel used to be 170, and now it's 200. The MPV used to be 135, and now it's 145. However, I think that the outcome of the game it's not really decided just because some units got nerfed by like how many points. It doesn't really matter. It's more like can I fit this many units in my deck question instead of whether the increased price is really going to do anything. For example, let's say the Russian TAWs got nerfed from 250 to 300, I believe. And that's for the long range version. I mean, when I say long range, it's not really that much, but you know. So if you look at the capacity of the Russian decks of at least their support tab, I'm pretty sure. Well, actually, I have no clue. Let's see. Okay, they actually have a pretty big. Maybe 1,000? A bit more than 1,000? Yeah, probably more than that. So yeah, their support tab is actually pretty big. Dang. So I guess it probably doesn't really matter, but at least they'll have to drop something. At least either be a transport vehicle or it's gonna be another piece of artillery, hopefully, or they're gonna have to cut budget and or bring something else, or bring less. So, and yeah, like sometimes if you look at your own tabs, for example, Striker SF, not Striker SF, Armored SF, I look at my deck and I think, okay, well, I only have 1,250 points that I can put in my deck. What the hell am I gonna bring? I obviously need Shorad. I obviously need a pack or two. Usually one is enough. Sometimes you bring two because they spam so many cruise missiles and my teammates don't run packs themselves. The logistics is absolutely horrific. You only have 4 ground vehicles that actually run quite slow. And yeah, they carry 5,000 kilograms of supply, which is decent. It's just that, you know, they're so slow and they kind of get caught off guard for the majority of the times. On top of that, if you want to bring a 9 Thunder, that thing's also going to cost 200. Surprisingly enough, didn't get nerfed that much as the Coalition did this time. And people have been mentioning, hey, why didn't the thing get nerfed? And yeah, I do wonder why the Iron Thunder didn't get blasted anyways. So like, yeah, you certainly don't have that much things you can bring in your deck when you have when one of their specializations is actually has nothing in that certain tab. For example, VDV. Actually, VDV is a really balanced deck. Yeah, sure, it doesn't have the best units here. My snipers get cut off guard because I forgot that this is the exact same road that they're gonna bring their A on, so I just ran into that road. I should have put it further away and then would have perfect intel. That was my very first, maybe you could say it's a small mistake, you know, but not really, you know. That's almost 300 points of investment gone down the drain. 270 to be exact. And apparently my opponent on this flank, he's playing the Guards Brigade along with the VDV. And there's a Crescentema down the road. along with one of the T90 variants, along with the Touran and S300. So that guy is already set up. I also saw a couple trucks in the back that were sent that had infantry. And yeah, like this guy probably doesn't have recon of any sort, not yet at least. But his setup is solid enough to hold on, and I don't really have anything to deal with it. At least not until my SEP arrives. He also has a 4-post in the sky. Not sure why you would take these, since you always have the other one, the other high-flying one, and to be honest, I would obviously take them over any other one of the day. Apparently this guy did bring some recon infantry, but they die fairly quickly. Oh, yeah, that's the other boys in AGL with AGLs. But sometimes you don't really have anything good to deal with the grenade launchers like these. They just kind of just sit in the corner and they fry your infantry at least. So you gotta make sure that your infantry's they get out of the building. You see. Here my SEP does a wonderful job at dealing with the enemy, both tank and infantry. I unfortunately do take an ATGM to the face, but regardless, the trade is still pretty good. It's still doing pretty well for me. I'm gonna eventually push my opponent out from the cap, and I think I'll be doing okay. For now at least. You know, sometimes I think to myself, are my videos too long? Because every video is about like 50 minutes. Let's say like 50 minutes. Because a full match is 45 minutes, and then I yap a bit at the end of the match. Or maybe before the match there's also a couple minutes, so it's like almost an hour. So my question is, do you guys want to, or like, do you guys bother if the vids got shorter or anything? Because obviously, in a match, there's always some time that you kind of either get knocked out, you need to like get your units back, rearrange your composition. A lot of things happen in the match that seem rather less important. And for me, what I do is I just kind of just talk like this, like I ask you a question. So you might feel like time just flies, and maybe this video is actually like more like a podcast than an actual video with content. Which I don't deny. I just think that, you know, if you feel like I'm wasting your time, or like you feel like the video should be more condensed, do let me know. I do think that I could certainly work on it. We might put in about mortars. I did notice that mortars are actually a big thing of the game, and a lot of people run them. A lot of people run them for whatever reasons. Either they don't want to get spotted, even though my RSCs are spotting these guys. The opponents' units are essentially naked at the moment. And the other thing is, I'm also like what if he smokes up, right? Like, what's he gonna do? He already took the cap. Like, there's not much he can do after that. Maybe he thinks I have some ATGMs in those buildings. Probably does. And I just get so bored to the point where I just decide to use a plane to come in, and then Stormbreakers, kill a drone, get back. Only killed one AGL team. Not much, but it's honest work. That being said, I think the F-35 is such an expensive plane. It should be that expensive. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying that for a job like this, I obviously don't need an F-35. Not that I think of. What I need instead this game, I believe. Now, this is actually my second take of this video. I first did one recording, and then only when I finished recording did I realize, holy shit. There's static in my noise, and I also don't feel very comfortable listening to myself watching this. So I thought, fine, maybe I'll try redoing the entire video, and then here I am, I'm recording the thing again. I'm not really sure if the static noise is persisting, but I think I'll just roll with this one. I tried looking up videos on YouTube as to how I can fix this. Hopefully it gets better this video. But also, you could say that, hey, you know, why don't you just get a better mic? I obviously could do that. But I really like my headset right now. I got this, this is a Bluetooth headset, and Actually, nah, it's not a Bluetooth headset. It's a wireless headset. I use it to connect to my laptop, and we kind of just roll with it. Not much. That's about it. But I like it a lot because it's a much better improvement compared to my previous one. So I do like it. Here, for some reason, my Iron Thunder is I was artillerying my opponent's Chrysanthema, but it's nailing his tank instead. And I also got a mortar of my own, thinking that, hey, it's my opponent's. Just barely, like this is what you do when you really want that cap and you don't want it to get taken. You just hide your units. You hide your units right behind that building, and then yeah. And you basically just keep them there for as long as possible. He's holding the cap. It's extremely annoying. I need to go through a lot of lengths to get either I put an infantry in that building or something else happens. I don't really know, but that M2 got away with a lot of stuff, but I still killed the plane, so that's good. That's good, I suppose. Yeah, I just really want eye, you know, and I just kind of want eye, and that's about it. I'm also force firing on. Oh, and he pops out. Hello. Probably gonna, yeah, get back behind that building again. Contested. Also, this guy's only using one squad, and I'm already microing the shit out of me, and I can't really do much about it. Iron Thunder, you know, always have it on the hotkey. It'd be nice to have that. I could just send my Delta forces in, and it'd be perfectly fine. But instead, it turns out my side was, yep, gets a hit on my side, and I need to smoke again. Except I get hit by another ATGM, and my SEP is about to die. And then he shoots another ATGM at my SEP. Yep, nails him through the building. Alright, so now my SEP is dead. Hey guys, coin editing here. And this is after I recorded everything. And I'm about to publish the video. And I just realized, because I had to make a deck, the SEP, without any armor upgrade, it apparently has less armor than the AMPV, which when it's fully upgraded. Look, 100, 400. And the heat pen is it starts at 250. So please don't be me. Upgrade the SEP. Do yourself a favor. That 70 to 60 speed doesn't really matter that much. Off-road, it's like it goes from how much to 45? Yeah, 55 to 45. Okay, so a 10 km/h speed cut. But on the other hand, you know, it does matter. As you can see in this game, I didn't bring any side armor, and then when I tried to maneuver my tanks into risky or open locations or somewhere near a building, they would get flanked somehow. And obviously I could change that by simply positioning my tanks faster, or simply just adding another 30 points to the cost of the tank, and then maybe it wouldn't take that much damage anymore. So yeah, that's about it, and back to the video. Fantastic usage and display of how to use a tank. Not really. Anyways, this guy's using bit of vicious. I hate this unit. I hate this unit so much, it's stupid. It has 2 RPG launchers, it pens 500, and I'm only ranting because I fight it all the time, and I myself, it's a very fragile unit when it has to fight other infantry. That as long as it's not an actual like, let's say, tow team or something, it should be able to deal with a bit of their shoes, but you know, you can spam them. They only cost 50, man. Like you really don't need to spend a lot of resources on. The only thing you need to do is to just put them in a truck, and if they happen to need to yeah, like if they happen you need to do anything, you can always have multiple squads spread out in different areas, although you kind of want to blob them if you need to fight someone. Another thing that's good about the bit of the shoes is that it costs, excuse me for burping, it costs 10 points per unit, and it's pretty cheap considering, well, it's not that cheap, but on the other hand, for an infantry that's 8 armor and its armor is decent, its damage output against infantry is good as well. It has 2 rocket launchers or RPG launchers. Yes, it's a very good squad. It's a very good squad. And the best thing of all is, if you fight another infantry squad, usually once the squad gets panicked, their damage output gets reduced drastically. But because you have two of them, only one gets suppressed at a time. So instead of losing all or like half your damage output, I'm not really sure what the exact number is, but once you get suppressed or pinned, you lose out on a lot of damage output. And because you have two squads, you can always retain some of that. So yeah, for now this guy's kind of just pushing his tank. It's a bit too much because he got stuck in my lines, but we'll take care of him eventually. My opponent also takes out my snipers on the right. I think they could have been in a much better position, but on the other hand, you can kind of tell that, okay, my opponent, he basically has the entire eye engulfed with that tree line support behind him, which he didn't before I lost my SEP and I pushed in and a single bit of the share squad just railed them. You can ask me, Coin, why don't you just bring a SEP V2, you know, and bring it with trophy? True. I totally could. I definitely could. And if you ask me why I don't, it's just because I don't trust, you see, I'd rather lose a tank than actually bring what is it called again, APS? Based opinion. Not really, but I just think that I'm investing too many points for one tank when all I need is actually just the gun. But sometimes even I forget about that sometimes. And I just send the tank into impossible positions where it actually just dies. And does nothing like just previously. You see me doing this multiple times, and also my opponent doing this quite a lot. And one thing about the US tanks is that since my opponent doesn't really have a lot of top attack missiles, which the Americans have access to, I don't need to rely on APS. Whereas my opponent needs to. If he doesn't, then he's basically cooked every single time I launch a javelin at him. So that's one thing that I learned after I played the US for a while. Also noticed that I just killed his shore, so I kind of want to take advantage of it. On the other hand, it doesn't seem to be working out for me that well. My MPV, despite taking care of that Tor, it's dying just for that Tor, and my F-35 also, you know, I called it in for nothing. And my opponent also sent in a column to take H. So now at this very moment, you can see that, yeah, I am, I'm kind of just pushing the right for the sake of pushing right. I'm not really doing anything that productive. My infantry, I have 600 points floating in the back. I definitely need more. I killed something, yeah, I killed more stuff. I'm basically just killing for the purpose of killing, and I think at the time, even though I was, I think to myself, okay, I'm doing pretty well. I'm wiping out all his recon units that could have just kept pushing and would have given me a hard time, because, you know, once he spots all my stuff in the back, I'm absolutely dead. His artillery's gonna get me, and there's not much I can do about it. However, the problems persist. I'm out of logistics. I want more logistics, and they took H. And that also resulted in them getting 1 point instead of us being able to get 3 points instead of 2. And you could say that, but Corn, that's like 1 point. It doesn't really matter, you know? And in phase 3, everything you get is going to be +3, +3, +3, indeed. And that is correct. But on the other hand, you know, I'm pretty sure that one truck took H. And then I had everything just sitting around. It's kind of hard to navigate between I and H unless I managed to secure that road in the middle. And I'm pretty sure, to be honest, I do think that I kind of did. So I could technically move up my supplies and move units between. Unless I get tossed or there's a cornet team, I'll just have to smoke that passage so I can just make sure that I have a quick connection between H and I. But on the other hand, for now, it's pretty much not really doing much to improve that situation. I think all I wanted here was to just bomb my opponent's grad. And yeah, I also see launch, had to micro that. Something that I tended to that I happened to notice was just sometimes microing doesn't really, yeah, see, precision strike here actually doesn't make the F-35 drop bombs because it's way too late. I lose the plane, I also lose a pilot, so that's pretty much 500 points down the drain for nothing. I did lose like, yeah, sure thing, you know, the nice try, right? NT. No, it was ass. I could have spent that 300 points on getting infantry and then taking back H. That was definitely one of the options. And then my SEP is still doing a wonderful job dealing with T80s and T90Ms. Not M's, maybe T90s is good enough. But yeah, I feel like I'm winning. You know, I feel like I'm winning at this point. I'm winning this flank. I'm doing pretty well. We take H back. We kill another plane that barely kills that Thunderbolt. And I think to myself, yeah, it's time to push, right? Okay, get face checked by a T98. That CFV is pretty much good as dead. But yeah, like as you can see here, this guy, my opponent, he's still trying to like... You can kind of tell what your opponent lacks when he like sends new troops in. Like you can see here, he used to not have like let's say like I pretty much killed all of his infantry, right? So it's basically just bit of shiz here, along with like here that's one tank already. There's another tank in the back. He has a heli, so you can pretty much tell from your opponent's what he calls in. You can think of like okay, so actually, dude, what is English? Sorry, I need to like say that again. But basically, whatever your opponent calls in, he has the other stuff on the field already, unless you've basically killed everything. That's kind of like a reference here. I'm just trying to kill his T80 with the Stormbreakers. It's kind of funny, but you know, it gets the job done. Whoop. I'm never gonna bring Stormbreakers again. So my opponent still has 2 tanks on the field, even after all this. Even after killing 1 tank. Yeah, okay, actually I only killed 1 tank, and I lost a Bradley CFV, a SEP, and then also a PVAD. And now I think about it, yeah, it's probably not worth it, you know. I did lose a lot of you. Also, the Guardian. That almost cost me like how much? More, at least more. 700 to say the least. Also here, some really interesting thing. Look at my F-35. Dies. Hello? What the hell? Just, I don't know, he just died. Quite confused. I can't even spawn a helicopter for that anyways. Yeah, shit happens, I guess. That's one of the things I could have done better for this match. Not overextend too much. Like I think, okay, I'm wiping on my opponents. I should keep pushing. No, don't do that. Don't be me. Be better. Get more infantry and then go for another push, or like get whatever you're lacking. Like let's say previously I only had yeah, I sure had a tank in there, but I got face checked by other tanks. If he had any infantry in there, I would have been cooked. Like any bit of initiative squad. Yeah, I definitely needed more infantry. If I played better just to secure this same, what do you call them again? That same tree line that I lost my SEP and my Guardian and my CFV in. Yeah, I totally could have pushed my opponent out of there if I just gave it a bit more time. And then put some ATGM squads at the edge of that tree line, so if my opponent never tries to push again, or push and die, I'll just be able to stop him halfway. So yeah, as you can see here, the match is almost halfway through. I have a Delta squad inside a name PV. And I spotted my opponent's bit of a shiz. Previously, like from the previous convoy, so it probably takes some like 2 or 3 minutes to reach the front and for them to like cross a tree line. Let's do a quick smoke so I can get and die with my deltas. Sorry, H. I do think mortars are actually a piece of interesting equipment that I should use them more. And I should also remind myself to use more infantry. I must also say, when I played Armor SF, another big mistake that I should not do is pulling in multiple tanks at the same time, and then just recklessly running them into the problem that I think I am facing. For example, here, why do I need a Maz? Actually, I'm not even gonna talk about the mods first, but like the first thing I see my 2 tanks is, okay, where can I send them in and just let them wreck everything? When in reality, these tanks are only good at dealing with other tanks and possibly infantry in the open. It's not much. Any infantry with an RPG can just kill this thing, or playing with the clusters. So yeah, you could say that. Yeah, you have a lot of tanks in this deck. It's pretty good. But yeah, man, like, I'm definitely gonna show you how not to use tanks. Anyways, here I just took control of H again. My opponent tends to like using these little trucks to take H, so I take the cap back again, and instead of staying in it, I do actually go for the to help my teammate out here. Like he's completely encircled D, but all he needs apparently is just that he needs a bit more, just to push through. That's what I'm doing here. Oops, and then I run into another small truck on the right. Yep, going with the 2 tanks, sending it. I also have a shore ride coming in, and as you can see here, yeah, like okay, instantly. I should be glad I was lucky enough to not get my engine disabled, but one of my SEPs already dying. I think, by the way. Obviously, it could have died sooner. What I'm trying to see here, look already. My opponent probably spotted this much sooner. I'm dealing with multiple things on the left and the right. I lost one of my SEPs. And it feels like my SEP is doing okay, except I think I reversed it into another Morskaya squad. Yeah, so there goes 2 SEPs. That's around 500 points gone, and I'm pretty sure all of these units combined for the Russians, because they have cheap infantry, they probably cost at about 400 or like 300. I don't really know. So, is it worth it? Nah, not worth it. 2 tanks for nothing. I could have just sent in AMPVs, which are much better at dealing with tanks, dealing with infantry, and they would still be able to protect themselves with APS. So I think that's what I'm lacking, at least in this case. Here my MPV is just, it's actually doing a much better job than my Abrams. That obviously the reason behind that is just simply because the Abrams tanked everything. True. But on the other, oh, I spotted a Diversanti. Run away! I definitely can't deal with that. On the other hand, I gets face checked by a what is it called, VDV Spetsnaz, and that squad is actually, with birds, that squad is actually quite dangerous. But at least I helped my friend Penguin here to take control of I. What cap is that? D. Okay, D. We take care of D. And yeah, it is a good thing. But on the other hand, my upkeep is back at 200, and you can tell from that I lost a bunch of units. And the worst thing above all, sometimes I ship 2 things and they don't really work out. As you can see on the... Okay, I get really full of myself with my Iron Thunder. I'm starting artillery his backline, my opponent's backline, the opponent's flank. My Delta Forces is incapable of getting into my MPV. And then I accidentally double tap U, so they are now outside the cap again. I mean, they're now out on the truck again. This actually cucked me, They just sat there for 2 minutes, and when I needed them, they're still there. They're not even resupplied, and this is actually pretty bad for me. I'm also getting a lot more points than I should be. So what happens now? The next phase is about to end. On paper, yes, it looks good. We have 3 caps, but I mean, we have all 4 caps on this flank. On the other hand, I've stretched myself to a point where I don't have stuff to defend I anymore, or H. So you're probably gonna know what that means. I sent another squad into that tree line, just get shredded by birds again. I's being taken once more. I accidentally lose my Iron Thunder because it's out in the open and it gets spotted by whatever. I'm pretty sure that VDV Spetsnaz spotted it. And I'm still here trying to deal with the problem that I was facing like 2 minutes ago. Oh. Oh. Yeah, half HP a tank. Thing's pretty strong. I'm thinking about using yeah, see, like all of a sudden my opponents have 6 points in their lead, and it's not looking good at all. Not good at all. Yeah, definitely need to try to take I back, to say the least, in the next 3 minutes, less than 3 minutes. I'm also not sure why I have the Prism as my GMLRS, but it is quite interesting, and you kind of know how annoying of a thing it is once my opponent got into I. Like, it's so hard to take him out because I don't have burrs. My command also flies into a 57mm gun, and that's just extremely horrifying. I also lose my Sentinel. Would have been 200 points for today's standards. And yeah, like, if you think about it, I am doing trash. Or at least I think I've been losing way too many units that I should have. I've lost 3 tanks so far. In reality, I probably only need 1, and I also don't really need tanks to deal with. Don't need tanks to deal with those things called what are they called again? Called, AT Infantry. Yeah, I just need 9 FV with trophy APS if it dies. So like, it's whatever, man. At least it's not 250 points. Okay, chase off my opponent that's using his SU-35. I lose a 3rd infantry squad to the VDV Spetsnaz that I clearly knew they've been there for a while. All I need to do was send in a Bradley CFV, which honestly they're a pretty good squad. And here I just noticed another thing is that, okay, I can't take I. Actually cannot win. Not here to say the least. I do need IFVs, at least to flush these guys out. I need my deltas. Where are my deltas? They're still in D, by the way. They're still in D. They're stuck there. They're stuck there for 5 minutes. Could obviously take a second Delta squad. It would be pretty nice. Yeah, see, phase 2 is about Gen. Basically spent the entire phase just staying there. My friend was asking me, can you take I? You know, maybe we try to deny their points and we'll be fine. Yeah, so I ping where his units may be. My friend goes in for it, bombs the hell out of that Vidisha squad or whatever it was, and now I can get into I. So if you look at the scores that we have here, we're obviously down a bit more than usual. Do manage to kill a plane though, so not bad. But it seems like it's even here, and my opponents get 2. Yeah, they get 2 points because none of us actually have won the caps, and the game seems pretty even. Oh, and there come the engineers, and I think to myself, shit, I can't take I. So if I summarize the second phase, I would say that yeah, I did lose a bit too many tanks, you know, 2 to say the least. And also, at least I'm pretty sure it wasn't as terrible as my first phase, or maybe it was as bad as the second phase. I'm not really sure. But we could have held I or H. My teammate helped me take helped me take H again because I helped him push through. So now his influence is he's basically all the way very close to IH now. For me, I kind of just needed a better CQC squad. And when I mean better CQC squad, I meant my deltas that were basically stuck in that truck. So yeah, sometimes, I don't know, sometimes micros are important, sometimes over-microing is also not a good thing. But regardless, we lost a bit too many units in the second phase. And now we are kind of, we're kind of behind by 1 point. Yeah, very annoying thing about these guys. I swear if Penguin, like the guy on my left flank, my left side, he told me that if you put a AGL team in that same building that my Ranger RCs are now, right now, they would be shredding anything that pushes I. And I think to myself, yeah, you're probably right. They probably would. Yeah, they're probably gonna die as well. But then, oh great, here comes a 4 tank column. This is a very big mistake. I definitely do hope that I've learned my lesson after this game. And that is, do not bring in so many tanks. Do not bring in so many tanks. Like, yeah, sure, calling tanks in is a good thing, but excessive tanks isn't really going to solve my problems. Did I call 2 back? Okay, so essentially I wasted time calling 2 tanks in, and then calling 4 tanks in only to call 2 of them back. My CFV here is also panicked, so they can't really guide passive missiles that well. Yeah, here I come in again with 2 tanks, thinking that, okay, 2 tanks are going to solve my problem. No. More units. Hello, this is an RTS game. It's not... even in StarCraft 2, if I had a... Like 2 motherships wouldn't be enough to solve the problem. I'm not saying the mothership is as reliable. Yeah, the mothership is actually worse than the Abrams when it comes to this kind of stuff. So yeah, why am I bringing more tanks? Or why... Yeah, you know, it's definitely definitely not a good thing. What is enough? My opponent brought a couple more because they had cheap tanks. I do think that or maybe I'm just not using tanks well enough to break through. Like you can see here. Oh, another TOS. My opponent pretty much has 2 TOSs, I'm sure, at this point. And I think to myself, okay, well, this tank's crippled. If I manage to push through here, I'll probably get a lot of kills, so let's send it, you know, let's send it. Except for one thing. Excuse me, there's something... Do you call them muckus? But anyways, oop, SEP dead. Yeah, my smoke wasn't like fully spread out yet, so whatever I tried to do there, it deleted my tank instead of me running into a Cornet team and killing it instead. Not good. Second of all, at least my SEPs, one of my SEPs, you know, made it into into the tree line over there. You want me to go through a quick analysis or brief thought on where exactly I think it would be, like where like the best place to be on this map, or like a good spot to take so that my opponents can't push back. Great, now my SEP's his engine's down and he's disabled now, and pretty much everything he has is red, even though he's not taking that much damage, but it's good as dead, you know. So it's not looking good. I lost another 500 points over the course of like barely 2 minutes. My opponent has another tour, and there goes my SEP. So yeah, and then there goes my MPV. I mean, at least it stays alive, you know. So yeah, definitely not looking good. I'm also always bringing in okay, so now I finally do what I consider the first smart decision of this game, or at least kind of, and that is bringing in a lot of infantry in the heli. Okay, I lose the FPV in the end. Bad news for me, I guess. And you're gonna see how, or like at least how decent or how good our the armored infantry is at times, paired with a couple squads of MALs. So here I called in like 3 engineer squads and 2 MAL teams just to push that tree line in. Surprisingly enough, it's gonna help me do a lot of get a lot of work done on this flank. Actually, don't have assault breachers on in this deck. Also, my Delta's having a stroke again, not being able to get into an IFV. My Bradley CFV also dies to another TOS salvo for no reason. Thank God that thing got nerfed, by the way. If that thing needs to go, that thing has to go, man. It's killing vehicles too. I mean, I understand that this thing it doesn't really have a lot of top armor, but really? That's crazy. Deltas, please get into the MPV. Okay, they finally get into it. Fantastic. Yeah, I'm actually a bit surprised how good the AMPV is. Paired with Deltas, the only issue is that they kind of just don't get into the vehicle when I tell them to. Very unfortunate, I must say. And for now, you know, if I did manage to take this tree line, at least on the other hand, we're also 40 minutes down the drain. There's only 7 left. And so what do I do now? Oh no, I get face checked by VDV Spetsnaz and my RC just dies and I lose 75 points for nothing. Great. Not good. It's also one thing about fighting the VDV. The VDV Spetsnaz has 2 birds and so does VDV the Sh, so they're like also pardon for my inconsistent Russian pronunciation, but it is what it is. So like I once saw my teammate push into like hit D, and then now he's actually chilling. But for me, what am I doing here? All I've been doing the entire game is trying to take I, and then go around and take H, and then come back and take I, and then go back and take H. It's like I'm playing ping pong with my opponent, you know? I'm playing ping pong, and then I'm not consistently winning because I can't hold it, you know? I can't just in ping pong the rules are very straightforward, right? You can't just come back, catch the ball, and then decide when you want to throw it again. But not in Broken Arrow, you see. In this scenario, you can probably hold the ball as long as you like. And then that's one thing that I think to myself, okay, we probably, in the near future, if anything, I do need to hold the ball longer, you know, you gotta clutch some balls, you see. And it's also a tank in my face. But we'll see how it goes. Losing a bit of frames here in the meantime. I also noticed that my opponent seems to like or enjoy using AGL teams for defending against infantry, which is okay, I suppose. But he's also not investing that much when every time I send a Delta and an AMPV, that thing costs 245, at least now it does. Oh, and it goes bye-bye. Dead. So yeah, I could have just had maybe like, let's say 2 mech rifleman squads or just 1 AGL team sitting inside the cap and we would have been perfectly fine. Also 5 minutes left on the clock. I'm trying to kill that what do you call it again? The T-80. My Bradley is dying to a 57mm recon truck because it has a 57mm. I also think that thing, like how come so many Russian units have access to the 57mm? It makes absolutely no sense. Anyways, here we seem to be doing a bit of work here and taking care of my opponent's bit of the shuz. Except yeah, get in die, please. No. Alright, well at least the boom squad is here ready to roll. 2 Mons teams in a war pig and 3 engineers running it down. I know that my opponent, he only has the engineer team and I haven't seen it in a while. And even though he might be able to call it in or do something later, it wouldn't really be enough to stop 3 squads. Like, yeah, 1 squad has 8 people. Like, what are you gonna do about 15 men? Call in the 2nd squad? He probably would do that if anything. But also recall his units being these units were something what were they called again? Flashbangs instead of burrs, and the burrs were on the VDV Spetsnaz, so that's also a thing. Here I send in my SEP once again from the so-called shortcut only to get almost blasted. Also that was a spoiler, but you'll see it in a couple seconds here. And my CFV actually manages to kill... Okay, my Abrams half HP already. Great! And my Luddy's all the way in the back. Yeah, okay, well done, well done. Anyways, here, yeah, I'm not taking I either. I kinda, yeah, you know, I could've just bombed H. I could've just bombed H, but I chose not to, you know, I'm like, yo, greedy me, I must go for their stuff in the back. So here come the Stormbreakers, Neom. Oh, when I drop the bomb, Stormbreakers, go! Kills absolutely nothing. Okay, fabulous. Also, I think it's a bad idea to bring Stormbreakers. They have too little explosion explosion radius. So, here is a... So if you guys ever happen to play this map again, I actually forgot what this map is called, but if you do happen to play this map again, and you're on this side, do try your best to secure this tree line that my mech engineers are. I must say, it will take quite a lot of resources, but once you do, the only place my opponent can hold is probably that tree line to the left. If he ever tries to go through like these roads, like the road where that I don't know how much the tank is, T80 UM is, then all you need to do is to just put some what do you call it? Yeah, put some ATGM teams and he's pretty much as good as done. It's happened to me once. I played on the Russian side in this game as a US, and let me tell you, I can never push back again. Obviously, you could bring in smokes, but smokes are going to take forever to do something, and generally, like you need an abundance of artillery to actually be able to push that, like, the clean that tree line away, because there's only one road leading to this cap, and obviously, yeah, sure, you can just throw a lot of units at the problem, and then you'll get through, which does work, but then... Yeah, it's a very rewarding tree line to push, and I only achieved it like 3 minutes before the game ended, so it's not a good thing. Another thing to, speaking of throwing units at the problem, I am once again sending in my my Abrams into H, hoping to like, you know, clean the stuff out. And as you can see here, right when I'm exposing my side to that same building, here jumps out 10 bit of the shells and deletes it. Goodbye, SEP. 240 points. Actually, yeah, goodbye, 240 points. Yeah, so if you look back at this game, you'll probably realize, okay, Corn, you're shit at using tanks. Yeah, I barely use them. That's why I love Bookers, man. They have APS. They have 50 mil. They deal with infantry much better. Obviously, they can't deal with other tanks unless I flank them from the sides, and yeah, it's definitely not the best. Anyways, there's 13 seconds left on the clock. And had we been able to hold H, clear these units out, we would have gained 3 points back, even though we're 6 points down. And if you recall from the first and second phase, we could have gotten... Yeah, we would have went 6 to 8, to say the least. Or, even better, if we got that cap in the second phase, and we would have gotten 2 more points as well. So we would have gone 8 to 7, instead of going... 3 to 9. Was it 3 to 9? Yeah. So definitely not the best results. We lost the game to a really good team. Although I must say it is so annoying and frustrating to deal with one squad just standing behind a building, and you really need to push it with more infantry instead of vehicles. And I hope I learned my lesson this time. Yeah, look at the amount of tanks I lost for like absolutely no reason. So yeah, that should be it for this video. I'm not the biggest fan of SF tanks, but they definitely have the value, and I am not using it well. So yeah, to the guys who wanted me to play SF armor, that is it for this video. I thank you all for watching this one. Also, I do want to mention though, everyone, thank you very much for tuning into my channel and watching me. We're actually at a surprising number now. We're at 915 subscribers. Thank you all for watching my stuff and subscribing. I've never been growing so fast, you see. I'm actually quite happy about it. So yeah, how would I phrase it? Making my depressed day a lot better. So I hope you all have a good day, and I'll see you guys in the next one, okay? So yeah, goodbye and have a good one.